Hello again and welcome to my world. I am Dominick Santora, and I have to stand corrected. A couple of days ago, I had this conversation with someone who scolded me on a few misconceptions I had, particularly one which he told me not to feel too bad because just about everybody has this misconception. I was under the impression the term well-regulated militia, as stated in the Second Amendment, it means to regulate. What America's founders meant in well-regulated militia was proper working order. We forget that words tend to change meaning from time to time. Over 2 centuries ago, well-regulated was used often to mean proper working order, such as a well-regulated printing press, a well-regulated horse and carriage, and so on and so forth. So I stand corrected. There's no denial here. There's no delusion. And my name is Dominick, not Hillary. And of course, when talking of Hillary Clinton, along with denial and delusional, you have to throw in depraved as well vindictive. But we'll get to Hillary momentarily. As far as the Second Amendment goes, I'm all for it. I've owned firearms in the past. I did some hunting when I was young, and I plan on owning a firearm again. I have none right now. I had to sell all my firearms for financial reasons, but that's for another video. The Second Amendment allows private citizens to own firearms, and that includes the AR-15. AR-15s are popular because of their versatility. You can break that thing down and make it into anything you want, and you can do it all yourself with just a screwdriver and a wrench, as opposed to sending it out to a gunsmith, which can be expensive. With the exception of one key part, everything can be obtained very easily online or somewhere else, with the exception of the receiver. This is the part with a serial number and has to be bought through a licensed gun store. And this is the part that the ATF recognizes as the gun. This part, along with the bolt, is the difference between a fully automatic and a semi-automatic. The bolt is that part that rides over the hammer and trips it off. A bolt for a semi-automatic receiver is not going to work for a fully automatic receiver. If I missed anything, let me know, and I'll do a follow-up video on it. AR is trademarked by a specific gun manufacturer. Colt, I believe, has the trademark. That is why other manufacturers use different letters, such as A15. Then there's the bump stock, something we've been hearing about for the last few days, which, depending on the manufacturer, can be bought for under $100. There are more expensive bump stocks depending on the manufacturer, but a bump stock is a lot easier to obtain than a receiver because the Obama administration gave the okay for private citizens to own a bump stock. It does not make the rifle an actual automatic, that is, a true automatic. At the least, it mimics the actions of a fully automatic, allowing you to fire more rapidly. And many experts and enthusiasts do not like bump stocks because it tends to cause the gun to jam as well. They complain about accuracy. And if the Obama administration took the time to look into this, they would realize this flies in the face of a 30-year-old ban on fully automatic rifles. Because even though it's not exactly fully automatic, it does make the rifle act like a fully automatic, which, for all intents and purposes, classifies it as a fully automatic. Personally, I have mixed feelings about a fully automatic rifle. I mean, outside of firing it off at the gun range, there's really no practical purpose for it. And unless you're recycling bullets, and that is reload ammo, it gets expensive firing those things off. And then there's the argument of suppressors. A suppressor does not make the gun silent. The term silencer is a misconception. Then again, I guess it would depend, and this is a wild guess, I really didn't look it up. I would guess it depends on the caliber. If you hook a suppressor to a 22, it might be silent, but a 22 is a toy. It's for target practice. You might be able to kill small game like rabbits, but you're not going to stop a 300-pound individual coming at you, short of a headshot, and even that is a maybe. James Brady and Ronald Reagan were shot with a 22. A larger caliber would have killed them both. Brady took a headshot and still survived. 22 caliber is a joke. But if you put a suppressor on a larger caliber, it's going to reduce the sound, but it's still noisy. And hunters don't use it to keep from scaring off deer. Really, I keep hearing this bullshit line. The only thing that's going to scare off the deer is your own noisy clumsiness, or even your own human scent is going to scare off the deer. Your gun going off is not going to scare off the deer. It's going to kill it. I mean, really, you buy into this line about suppressors are to keep from scaring off the deer. You have not a single ounce of common sense or critical thinking in your worthless fucking body. Hunters and shooters alike use gun suppressors to prevent permanent damage of their eardrums. Some prefer to wear earplugs. Others prefer a suppressor. So it goes without saying Hillary Clinton lied about suppressors, and she knew she was lying. She is simply a vindictive, vengeful bitch who needs a suppressor fitted onto her mouth. She is simply trying to invoke fear in people with this tweet of imagine how many more would have died if he had a silencer. There's no such thing as a silencer, and you know it, Hillary, you dishonest bitch. Just one of an endless number of reasons why you're not president. I have no problem with the Second Amendment. I have no problem with gun ownership. Personally, outside of the military, I see no use for a fully automatic rifle or a machine gun. I mean, spare me the crap about house protection. You do not need to randomly spray bullets to protect your house and loved ones from a break-in. Fully automatic guns were designed for one thing and one thing only, spraying massive amounts of lead indiscriminately over any given battlefield to take out as many enemy soldiers as possible. And not to mention the possibility of one of those bullets going through one of your windows and hitting your neighbor's house, or quite possibly accidentally killing someone out on the street, in which case you would likely be held liable. And spare me this argument about a tyrannical government and coming to confiscate your guns. Both Democrat and Republican are fully aware what will happen if they try that. We will end up in a revolution that will destabilize America and quite possibly sink it. This is the problem, people's mindset. Really, if you want to solve the problem, or at the least reduce gun violence, then you need to look towards Switzerland. Switzerland is fourth behind the United States, Yemen, and Serbia in gun ownership. The Swiss, like Americans, love their guns. Yet Switzerland has a gun culture with far less problems than America, Yemen, and Serbia combined. And it's because they have a different attitude, not only towards guns, but to the preservation and value of human life, something that has been lost to America if we ever had it in the first place. It's true, they do have laws as to the number of guns you can own, which I do not happen to agree with. And by the way, I also don't agree with the fully automatic ban in America. As well, Switzerland, it's okay to own military-grade bullets, but they have to be stored on a military base. I think that's silly. To be honest, neither one of these laws are really needed because they have it in their heads already when it comes to guns, respect of gun ownership, respect of human life. So the solution is an attitude adjustment and what it means, the responsibility one has in gun ownership, as well the value of human life. Maybe it should be required when buying a gun that a person go through training. Maybe if you're going to have all these social justice programs in schools, maybe we should have programs for gun ownership. But no matter what you do, people need to realize there's no way to prevent random acts of violence, and that it's wrong, rather unconstitutional, to punish law-abiding citizens for the actions of a psychopath. And people must also realize, if you haven't already, that these leftist cucks don't give a damn about the Constitution or individual rights and freedoms. And since they have no regard for individual rights and freedoms, since they have no interest in having a fair, open, and honest debate, I have no problem telling the likes of Hillary Clinton to shut the fuck up and just go away. Just as every other losing candidate has done, Hillary, go away. You're never going to be president short of a military coup. And I know that's what you're hoping for with Antifa and this stupid resistance movement, which you think you're the leader of, you delusional hag. Even your own party wants you to shut the fuck up and go away. And Michael Moore, you fat commie bastard, you and your fuck buddy Jimmy Kimmel, along with the rest of elitist Hollywood, needs to shut the fuck up. Especially when it comes to this crazy idea of repealing the Second Amendment. It just shows how clueless you elitist commie pieces of shits are. You have no idea nor care to know what it takes to appeal any amendment. Go back to making crappy movies nobody wants to see, Michael Moore, you worthless heap of humanity. Anyway, that's about it for now. Thanks for stopping by and for tuning in, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until we talk again, I want you all to be well and enjoy life.